bad guy.
Duh.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Be the Villain podcast, where we take real life issues and correlate them with God and spirituality. I am your hosting, Grace. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I am feeling good. So, y'all, let me just start off by saying this. Be the Villain has been doing so good. Like, I've definitely been seeing the fruits of my labor when it comes to as much work as I've been putting in for Be the Villain. Not only the podcast, but my Instagram as well. We just hit 200 followers. Matter of fact, we're past 200 now. We're at we're at 208. And you guys, literally earlier this week, not even earlier this week, it was yesterday, Monday, the 15th, January 15th, I was at 179 followers. And I was like, how cool would it be like to hit 200 by the end of the week? Why did I go to sleep and wake up to 208 followers? What the fuck? What? Like, that's crazy. And then the podcast itself is doing amazing as well, because I'm so close to hitting my January goal for downloads, you guys. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what else to say, but thank you. I really do appreciate y'all. I just can't believe, people actually like listening to me. Like, I mess with y'all just how y'all mess with me. I was gonna cuss, but we try to cut back on the cussing. Because last episode we turned up. I can't admit we turned up on the cussing a little bit. Speaking of last episode, you guys, the editing, CapCut was just driving me insane. So I honestly didn't really want to come on camera today. I was like, I've been on camera these past few episodes. I think I deserve a little break. So we're just gonna do audio only. And I was like, girl, just prop up the camera. Like, it's not even that deep for real. But it was just, I don't know. I was like, I just hope CapCut is working, because the delay, it was bugging me so bad, you guys. So fingers crossed, which is why last episode went up late, but it still went up on Wednesday, just later on in the day. Anyways, fingers crossed, CapCut does me right. Obviously, if y'all are watching this, y'all are listening to this, it's out. So who knows what I went through? I will let y'all know next week. But make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Be the Villain. Villain is spelled VILLIAN instead of AIN. Yeah, I know. And also, I made a new Instagram, you guys, like main page Instagram, because I'm trying to differentiate content, because I'm over, if y'all follow me, if y'all know me like in real life, y'all know my Instagram page was The Real Slim G. I'm over that. I just, I can't be bothered with that page anymore, really. Like, I still have it, but I don't know, just too many monitoring spirits, you feel me? So yeah, we're making a whole new page. Well, we made a whole new page, so definitely go ahead, check out that one, show some love. I'm going to start posting on that probably next week. So, yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's topic. Today's topic is, it's not long, but it's not short. It's just enough, because it's very valuable information, in my opinion. We are getting into the power of silence, you guys. And when I say silence, I'm not even meaning just between arguments, and just, I'm talking about in general, because there are many times in your life where silence is very much necessary. And I just wanted to talk about that today. So in the last episode, I talked about, the power and the art in detaching, which I feel like is a, practice that everybody should really try to master at some point in their life. Just knowing when to detach is an amazing technique to know and to have under your belt. However, it's not always necessary to completely detach from something or from someone. There are just certain times in your life where it's just silence that you need. It's not you need to detach, because sometimes a response is necessary. You feel me? And unlike detachment, you may still be actively involved with these people or these situations. So it's just better to be silent rather than to completely detach yourself depending on the situation. Detachment is more so of a protection mechanism, whereas silence is more so a response. They are both pretty much responses. However, detachment is more so like a last resort. And it's just due to the consistent patterns, behaviors, and just attitudes of a person or a situation that you just no longer want to put up with. So you decide to just remove yourself completely. That's what detachment is. So though there are many situations where silence is definitely necessary, I want to give you my top 3. Before I get into my take on the top 3 scenarios where I feel like silence is key, let me just say this. Silence is not a sign of weakness or defeat. A superhero would be completely drained, you guys, and hashtag not so super if they were in battle mode or fight mode 24/7. There comes a time where they are not in battle mode and they are just in prepping mode or just protective mode more so rather than fight mode. They're just strengthening their strengths and building on their weaknesses, you know? That's just my little disclaimer. So let's just go ahead and hop into the first scenario where I think silence is absolute key. Number 1, I feel like silence is absolutely necessary when it pertains to anything about your future. Anything about your future, anything about your goals, just shut up about them. Do not talk about what you're going to do before you actually do so and before it's actually set in stone, set in place, you know, it's actually actively happening. Not everybody has your best interest at heart, and I had to learn that kind of the hard way. And sometimes it could be the people that are most close to you that you think that they, you know, would have your best interest at heart, but they honestly don't, because the minute something were to happen, they're just kind of talking so bad about you behind your back, and obviously you know about it, you hear about it all the time. So it's just a bit more heartbreaking, and it's just like evil eye is real, you guys. It is so real. So you don't want no type of bad juju on things before you actually have it come about. And then also sometimes you may change your mind, or things just may not go according to plan, and for people to, I guess, you have people that are counting on you or watching you to see how things evolve. It's just, I don't know, sometimes it's just not necessary to tell people, especially when you're somebody like me. I change my mind a lot, so to go back and kind of backtrack on what I said or backtrack on what I said I was gonna do, it's not that like it's embarrassing to me, but just more so like, I shouldn't have even said nothing, like type of vibe. And just learn my lesson. Just shut up if things are not set in stone. Number 2, silence is absolutely key and necessary when your character is being tested. I seen a quote on TikTok, I think it was yesterday. Yeah. It said, if you want to shatter somebody's ego, make them feel unworthy of your energy. Fighting fire with fire just makes a completely bigger, it makes a disaster, long story short. It's terrible. So, and it's also unnecessary. When people rely on you as a source, no matter what it is, a source of happiness, a source of information, whatever it is, they feel disrespected and offended when you decide that you no longer want to engage in conversation with them, especially when they're trying to provoke you to get a reaction out of you. Every interaction is energy. So whether you can see it or not, when you are talking to somebody and engaging in their stupidity and their shitty energy, you are putting your own energy and your own aura at risk. And why would you do that? By doing so, by stooping down to their level, you just look just as equally down bad as them, and that's not the goal here. The goal here is, it's not even to have the last laugh verbally, because energy is felt. And when it comes to somebody that's trying to test your character, silence is very loud and powerful, because it's not about what you can't hear, but more so about what you can feel. Think about it this way. When somebody tells a joke that's not funny, you're not gonna laugh. I mean, sometimes people may laugh, like just not make them feel bad, but me personally, I'm going to look at you. That's all I'm going to do. If your joke wasn't funny, I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to let you know that your joke wasn't funny by just simply staring at you. So when somebody tells a joke and it's not funny, you're going to stay silent. Yeah, because think about what you just said. Think about it. The same thing goes for somebody that's trying to test your character. Rather than going back and forth and wasting your energy, just stay silent. That's all you got to do, because at the end of the day, they're going to think about what they just said. Now, whether or not they think that they did something wrong, that's completely on them. That's not for you to tell them about themselves. It's just more so for them to realize. And a lot of times, unfortunately, narcissists, they don't understand where they went wrong, and that's just how they are. You can't change somebody because that's who they've always been. I say that all the time. So just allow that silence to be very much present. And because, like I said, energy is felt. So if they can't hear you, they can feel you. So if you don't want to, interact with them, I said this in the last episode, that when you pull back from somebody, it's more so like a force to get back. And when you don't want to get back, it causes a bit more tension. And when tension is there, you gotta understand why there's tension. Like, where did this tension even come from? And by thinking on that and reflecting on that, that allows them to see where they went wrong, if they can see that. Because a lot of times, sometimes they can't, but most times they know exactly where they went wrong. People know what they do. Believe it or not, a lot of people are not stupid. Whether or not they believe they were wrong is one thing, but people know their actions. Unless they, unless they have some actual like mental illness, you guys, where they just cannot think about the actions that they've done and whatever, and they just can't reflect back on them, and that's one thing. But I promise you, I can guarantee you, people know exactly what they do. People know exactly what triggered you. People know the situation. Just as you see the situation is the same way they may see the situation, because we were actively involved in the same exact situation. So you mean to tell me we may have a different take on it, but we experienced the exact same thing. I am not obligated to speak and share my thoughts with you. I only do so out of the kindness out of my heart to build social skills, improve connections, and show relatability. Other than that, there's no reason for me to share my thoughts and share my takes on situations with you if I feel like it just wouldn't go well. Period. If I can see the outcome of it and I see that, this is not going to end well, why would I willingly put myself in that situation? I'm just not going to do that. Of course, there are times where verbal expression is needed, and that's hands down understood. However, we also know that actions speak louder than words, so it's not always necessary for verbal expression to be present. Getting out of character only compromises your dignity, whereas shutting up allows you to consume wisdom. So I want to give y'all a scripture that goes hand in hand with what I just said. So Proverbs 17 verses 27 to 28. My Bible is Christian Standard Bible, but to each its own, it's very much still the same message. So it says, the one who has knowledge restrains his words, and one who keeps a cool head is a person of understanding. You being hot-headed and stooping down to a person that wants a reaction out of you makes you the fool. And y'all are both dummies. Y'all are both dummies. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you. Like, I know a lot of people, they want the last laugh and they want their voice to be heard. Now, I get it. A lot of times, like I said, there are times that will come where verbal expression is necessary. But as far as fighting fire with fire, it's not necessary. Somebody has to be the cool-headed person in the situation, because if y'all are both hot-headed, it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. So another situation where I feel like silence is absolute key is where you are trying to scope the scenery out, or you trying to scope new scenery and new people out. Because like I said, being quiet allows you to consume wisdom and act wisely in situations. So when you are trying to get accustomed to a new environment and feel new people out, silence allows you to be analytical and see people and situations from a bird's eye view or perspective. Same thing. This gives you the upper hand, because not only are you able to fill out the vibes, you are able to fill out people. And when it comes to people, the loudest in the room isn't always the smartest, and we should know that. If you don't know that, it's true. Like, you do not have to be loud to be heard, because like I said, silence is more so felt. It's energy that you feel. A lot of times people that are loud, they don't always make the most sense. Sometimes the stupidity is very much there. Like, if you know, you know. And just by being observant, you kind of know who to steer away from. You know, of course, you always want to be friendly and be polite to people. You never want to come off as the bitch in the situation or in the room, because that's just not the type of vibe we're trying to get off. However, you just want to make mental note of the people that do the most, because that's not the tribe that you want to click with, you know? So yeah, y'all, that's my take on the power of silence. Like I said, this episode wasn't gonna be too long. It was just a little 1-2-1-2. However, I feel like these, you know, if you know, you know. A lot of people can relate to this episode, because I know me personally, I had to learn the power of silence. I used to be somebody that liked to always have a response and have, you know, the last laugh or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. When it's me and my sister going back and forth, sometimes what she says, you know, when she try to get the last laugh, or just, you know, there's little time, but that's like sibling little tit for tat. I'm talking about real situations here. It's not always necessary, you guys. I promise you, it's not always necessary. And people that you are surrounded by and that are actively partaking in a situation that you are involved in will understand the same thing, that going tit for tat isn't always necessary. And if they don't understand that, God bless. God bless them, okay? Well, that is all I have for today's episode. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to yet another BTV Wednesday. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you are a new villain and you made it all the way to the end, I'm assuming that you were interested in your personal growth, so my previous and upcoming episodes could be valuable to you. But you know, that's just me assuming. I encourage you to definitely download, share, do whatever you want to do. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Your girl is very much active on there. And if you are a returning villain, thank you for returning. Thank you so much for your continuous support. I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.